So we got a new one, worthless appraisal class, and interestingly enough, I took a little peek before checking this first episode out, just what people were saying about the episode between Reddit and a few different places, and with so many new shows coming out, I have an idea of what I want to watch, but sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe something I'm focusing on isn't actually as good as maybe something else I wasn't focusing on, so I just like to try to figure out where to prioritize my time. Saw a lot of smack talk about this one before I checked out the first episode. So I walked in thinking, damn, I'm about to watch the most garbage show known to man. Literally saw people saying this is the worst first episode they've seen in a long time. I don't know, man, but this shit was really enjoyable. Not often you can say they basically killed the MC twice in one episode, and that's not an exaggeration. They start the episode off with him jumping. They kind of bait you into thinking that he's just like a suicidal edgelord. No, like, he basically had to choose between getting mauled by a pack of hungry wolves or, jump to his death. Gets saved, and obviously he gets healed, but, then the second time comes around, and the second time, they ripped his face apart. He just keeps... At this point, if I'm the MC, I'm not leaving the Tree of Life, that's all I'm saying. Now, I don't think this is going to be the best show of the season. I definitely think it could be one of the more enjoyable shows of the season. I think this man's going to build apparently the harem of Rentro from the 100 Girlfriends based on the opening. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this is a fun type of edge that is scratching an itch that maybe something like the Most Notorious Talker left for me from the previous anime season. This show is surprisingly enjoyable. I mean, if you're expecting everything to be the next Mona Lisa, the masterpiece, the magnum opus of narrative storytelling, yeah, shows like these aren't going to be up your alley. But if you're like, hey, yeah, you want to watch a pretty fun show that showcases like a dude who is treated as a goddamn peasant rise above it and probably have some generic fun, you probably will enjoy episode 1, I ain't gonna lie. Now, I do have full live reactions if you want to support my work over on Patreon. I got full and cut thoughts over there exclusively if you so wish. I can't even say I disagree with the anime community's taste, because often what people like, I also like, but I don't know, man, like, production of this show was surprisingly good. Right away about this episode, it kind of gave me Goblin Slayer vibes. I ain't gonna lie. Like, there was something about the grittiness and how the show looked at face value that I was like, huh, like this actually kind of gives me that same familiar of like, shit's gonna hit the fan. Now, personally, and I would be surprised if not many people thought this, I don't think this is some crazy thought to have about the episode. You have two horrible people treating your MC like shit. Doofus and Bimbo. I expected both of them were gonna die, because they start the episode off with this man looking like he was suicidal maniac. So I'm thinking, oh, he was a part of a party, the only party that maybe like took him in because he is the worthless appraisal class, and because he wasn't strong enough, they died and now he feels regret or something. Like, that's initially my thought, and then when I see that they're abusive, I said, oh, well, that's interesting. Why would he jump to his death if they're pieces of shit and they die? Right now, seemingly they didn't die at all, so we're probably gonna bump into them again at some point, which will be interesting to see their reaction, because they quite literally left us for dead, and they treated us like a pack mule, a loot goblin, and disgusting pieces of human garbage, to say the least. But when we deal with this pack of hellhounds, is what they're calling them, I was expecting it was gonna be like a very large creature that was gonna jump us. Turns out no, it's just like a big pack, and they leave us for dead. And I was the whole time expecting them to pull their punches. So when they actually start chomping and gouging him, I was like, oh shit. And then he kind of breaks free, fights for his life, and what can he do other than jump? And then surprise, he's saved. And I don't know why just yet. I'm sure there's going to be someone who's upset by the fact that, oh, how dare they make the MC the chosen one, but that's literally how every story in existence more or less does it. Play any video game, your MC is always the chosen one. It is, obviously, I want it to be wrote, like, why did she pick him? Why did she save him? Does she do this for just anyone? Like, there's stuff I want to learn, of course, but there's no issues with, like, the MC being saved here. Like, I just really failed to see that. But I have seen other shows get criticisms for that. Like, there's always an element of plot armor to start a story no matter what. I mean, your character in a video game is always going to be the character who finishes the story, right? So, like, it just kind of works for me. After the second time everything happened, it seems his eyes are different, so now he can see the elf lady, who I assume is the embodiment of the tree or a goddess of some sort. Because, like, the whole thing is that the way the world works is there's 3 sets of classes. Well, there's more than 3 classes, but there's groups like legendary, talented, and bum. No other way to put it. And his appraisal class, which is basically like if you were to put your cursor over an item in a video game, it gives you that level of description. Seemingly still has that, but I imagine there's going to be more that he's been gifted at this point. The whole time I'm expecting, though, when he leaves the first time, because he picks up a rock, because the first thing he does in this episode to free himself is to smack with a rock. So that's his only weapon, so it makes sense. I thought they were going to end the episode with him, like, about to use the rock, and he casts a fireball, because the opening shows him doing some crazy shit. So, like, I'm expecting an awakening. And no, they cut his ear off, they cut his fingers off, and then the little bastard with the scythe gets destroyed by Death Bear, and Death Bear mauls his face. Listen, I can crack at the fact that he didn't bring a bottle of that holy water behind him to save his ass, but the dude, it doesn't give me the impression he's a talented adventurer. He's a guy who barely was able to get jobs with anyone and has been treated as a pack mule. I don't expect this man to be the King Arthur of the world and is going to make the most sound decisions. Now, if he's always making dumb decisions long term, then it starts becoming a little more frustrating. But I'm sure there's going to be some people who are going to clown on him for just, like, leaving the first time. He can't just, there was no one there. It's not like he was talking with someone who's like, hey, stay here or you're going to die. Like, what is he supposed to do? He doesn't have food. He has some magical water. I don't even think he had a thing to take water with him, to be fair. So I don't think he actually made any majorly stupid decisions, but knowing the anime community, I think a lot of people are going to say he made a lot of stupid decisions. The dude has been dealt literally shit sandwich after shit sandwich. I think he made the best decisions he could in the moment. I don't think this is a 10 out of 10 first episode, but it's a damn enjoyable first episode, and I think people were being overly cynical as per usual about this show. Now, if these types of shows aren't up your alley to begin with, of course you're not going to like it, but I think anyone who's looking for, like, what I said about something like The Most Notorious Stalker, sometimes things are edgy. But edge doesn't have to be an insult. Edge can be used effectively, and I think edge was used effectively here. Jesus, man. To be honest, I hope they do keep the brutality up. Personally, I doubt they will once they get out of this whole situation. But yeah, I expect a harem. I expect goofiness, especially based on, like, some of the opening and ending visuals. But I mean, they impressed me with the first episode. Shoot, man. You let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. All right, so today we got One-Eyed King 25, Ty Brondhaver, Javier Vodquist, Rankar SMP, Karsten Sten Jensen, and we also have Jackson. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.